diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and today I have with me Syrus Tuitele, who's an offensive lineman at Fresno State. How you doing, sir?
Doing good. Thank you for having me on the show.
Great, man. Well, nice to finally meet you. I think that you're probably going to be one of my last, if not the last guy that I've interviewed this season. So, kind of nice, man. Pat yourself on the back that you got that distinction. So, yay. Cyrus, want to get to know you a little bit. Obviously playing out there at Fresno State, one of their star offensive linemen. So tell us just kind of a little bit about your journey, maybe where you grew up and how you actually got out to Fresno. So hit me with it.
I first started football when I was in fourth grade, and for 2 years I was unable to play because I was too big. So really, I actually hated football when I first started. I said, I don't want to play football. But when the years throughout, my career, I started saying, you know what? I'm pretty good at this. And so I grew up in Chico, California, which is like pretty NorCal, like an hour 30 above Sacramento. And when I got to high school, colleges started talking to me, and I was like, oh, damn. I didn't think I just did the work. I just played. And, I was like, damn, I didn't know I could, make a career out of this. So I started looking at football more intensely. And, I did a bunch of other sports like rugby, wrestling, and track and field my first 2 years of high school. But for me, I just knew, where I was meant to be at, that was football. And so during my junior, senior, when I got the most attention, I was talking to people from the Mountain West, people from the Pac-12. But then when Fresno State came on the table, Coach Ryan Grubb, who's the OC now, who used to be the offensive line coach, he came to my house and he just brought something different on the table. And for him, he's the one that really got me in to Fresno State. He's the one that really bought me in. And for me, I just feel like I wouldn't be the player I am without him. And once I got to Fresno, at first I struggled. It wasn't fun. It was 116 degrees, and the playbook was more complicated. I was like, damn, is this for me? I was like, I don't know. I almost quit my freshman year on fall camp. I was like, this is tough. But, Coach Grubb was always there saying it's tough now, but, you're a good player. And, I didn't really believe that my first year. But as years came and my confidence built up, and then I didn't even think, I was going to be a draft pick. I just did the work. I just grinded, just looked down and just did what I had to do. And then my last summer, just agents started hitting me up. I'm just like, my first call was like, what the heck is this? They're like, what is it? I was like, it's an agent. I think it's for car insurance or something. I was like, what is this for? He's like, I'm agent for NFL players. I said, oh, damn. I didn't think about this. And ever since then, my whole, I think just the whole process just got flipped upside down. I'm like, damn, now I got to get ready for the draft in the NFL. And it's it just snuck up on me because I never really thought about, guys oh, I want to go to the league. I want to go to the league. But, my first thing was I want to be the best college player first before I focus on getting an NFL. And so, everything's coming to full circle right now. And it's kind of insane. But, I'm ready for what is this to come to me. So.
Gotcha. So, obviously you had agents hitting you up, but you couldn't sign with one for a while because, obviously, you wanted to stay legit, stay in college as long as you could. So, who'd you finally sign with? Who's your agent right now?
My agent's Michael Hoffman. The agency Slam, and they're stationed in LA.
Great. So, so what kind of an offensive lineman are you at Fresno State? Tell me about your experience along that offensive line, and maybe what kind of role you have had and how you project yourself to the next level.
For me, when I first once I started establishing myself as a starter, I felt like I was more of a guy I know who I am. I'm a vocal guy, but I'm not some of the guys who can like really talk the team up and like get them all riled up and inspire them. I was more of a guy where it's like depending on the individual, some guys don't get riled up. I'm like more of an individual leader, I would say. And guys come to me to lean on sometimes. If they don't want to go to a group, they just want to come to like just one person. And I feel like lead by example is kind of a loose term in my example. Or for me, I believe it's like you gotta set the example, not really lead it. And so I feel like I set examples, for the younger guys to follow, so that they can learn and they set their own examples later on for the younger guys.
Great. Cyrus, I have you in my notes. That's 6'6", 310, 315. Does that sound about right? I mean, is that kind of where you
Oh
are
yeah.
right now? I mean, okay, cool. So, I mean, very big physical dude. So, I mean, obviously, really able to do a lot. I have you down here as really just very powerful guy, like out there playing right tackle, right? And that's kind of your wheelhouse there. I mean, that's kind of what you've been doing, right? So
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, you get a guy like yourself with really the grittiness of a rugby player and the knowledge of really hand fighting and leverages that you kind of learn, during your wrestling days, and you're totally able to apply that out there on the field. Um, you talked to me a little bit about how you are a little bit of a leader out there. I mean, it's great to hear that. So obviously, this past season was probably one like no other because the pandemic really sort of, I don't know, changed the dynamic of everything. So explain to me just slightly, just did the pandemic really affect you in your development this past season? I mean, just kind of share that if you don't mind.
I believe that it didn't really affect me. I just feel like I just didn't prepare it the right way for this pandemic. But for me, I don't see the pandemic as an excuse because it hit everyone the same way, and people had to get to working regardless. Um, but I could have done better, with the pandemic. But there was just certain states was different. Like on the other side, like people, it was a little bit more open than like California or Texas, when California is like one of the worst states, or was the worst state. But there was still, I did what I had to do. I did what I can, and you know, wish it was different. We only had 6 games, and I didn't think we are gonna have a season this year. And they're like, "Hey, out of nowhere at the blue, they said we got a season, guys." I said, "Oh damn, got 2 weeks to prepare." I was like, "I bet." It was like, yeah, it's just I don't think no one could compare any other season to compare what we just went through. So it was, it's written in the history books. So now I can say my kids like, yeah, that was me. I lost many players that
Yeah,
day.
yeah. I mean, you figure you kind of had to stay on your toes because I mean, you really didn't even know like if you were actually going to be playing at all. And then they come in late and they, oh, by the way, you got a few games that we can play this season. So I think at the very least, it's good that you were able to go out there and play something because a lot of people didn't. But I guess now, I mean, you got through that season, that kind of weird, wacky pandemic, and now we're heading, very fast towards the draft, and it's going to be here before we know it. But before we've gotten to this point, I mean, you were able to hit out a couple of nice things. I mean, you were able to go out to the Hula Bowl and do your pro day. So let's first talk about that Hula Bowl. I mean, just tell me any story about you and your experience out there. I mean, obviously a great event, but just kind of want to hear it from you. I mean, what sort of things did you do out there at the Hula Bowl?
The Hula Bowl was great. I had a great time. For me, on the first day of practice, everyone was trying to get to know each other, and not a lot of people were used to that humidity, but you know, it was beautiful. It was a great experience. I loved it a lot. But for me, what happened to me, my first day of practice, had a really great day. I was talking to teams, and I was like, all right, I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys at the hotel. I walked up to the locker room, and then I couldn't walk. I was like, what the heck? And my foot got swollen up from the tape was too tight. on my left foot, so it swelled up really bad, and so I ended up being on crutches for the whole week. And so I was just watching people, and people were like, "Syrus." The scouts looked at me like, "What happened?" I was like, "Did you just get jumped in the locker room?" I was like, "No, no, no." Like, it's just got swollen. It's probably gout. I hope not. And then I had to tell teams like, look, I'm not injured. It's just mishap. It's just a mishap. So, like, don't check that box. I'm like, I'm fine. I ended up playing in the Hula Bowl, but I didn't practice the whole week, and I was like, damn, kind of feel unfair, but I was there the whole week. I was just crunching along, trying to learn all the plays, but regardless what happened to my foot, it was nothing too serious, and they were really onto it. Around my foot, they said, "We're gonna take you to the or take you to get it checked out," and they did that right away. And I was like, damn, I was like, that was pretty fast. They just drove me off the field and made sure nothing serious happened, nothing bad happened. Drove me back to the hotel, and everything was all good. And even though I was still limited of what I can do, I still had a great time there. It was, I recommend. I hope people, don't overlook this that bowl game, because it was a great time.
Yeah, I mean, those people out there at the Hula Bowl, they do take things very serious. I mean, with their event. So, I mean, I'm glad that they were able to really take care of you. Obviously, they brought you out there. They house you, they feed you, and everything, but then they also take care of you, like if you have any medical needs. So, I mean, I think it's great that they were able to help you out. Obviously, after that, I mean, we were, just kind of waiting for your pro day, and you hit your pro day, and at least per my notes, what was it? You were able to hit out, I think it was like 36 bench reps. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
So I mean, you're pounding out a whole lot of iron there. So tell me about how you felt about your pro day and really what you were able to show scouts out there.
I felt pretty good about my pro day. On the bench, obviously, I wanted more. I'm never satisfied with my results. I was like, but it is what it is, and it's what I put out there. And then on the field, I feel like I did really well. There was some stuff I was still iffy about. I always want to be better, but the funny thing is, my pro day, like, it rained right when I got on the field. I was like, wait, what? And I was like, you know what? I could show my scouts my wet ball mechanics. I could show them I can play in any weather. And so I felt like I did really well in the rain. I did slip a little bit on some of the drills, but it was still, I feel like I still did really good and did show out. And then right after my pro day, it stopped raining. I said, wow, see how it is. I was like, but it was pro day was a great experience, even though I did majority of all of it by myself. There was one other player from 2 years ago that joined me, but he only did some drills. So, but luckily I had my team behind me. Like, I wasn't expecting them to be in the weight room. Like, I waited, I turned around, and my whole team was there. I said, God damn. And they were just cheering me on, but at the same time, like, damn, I can't look stupid in front of them. But it was a great experience. I enjoyed it a lot.
Gotcha. I mean, obviously, you had a whole lot of teammates kind of, cheering you on as you're doing things, and a lot of other people that are probably also, out there running those drills as well. Give me at least one or two of your teammates that we kind of just need to give a little shout out here to. I mean, who here do we need to know from Fresno State moving forward? I mean, I know of at least one, but I mean, I kind of want to hear it from you.
Yeah, it's hard. I can't choose them all, but it was great seeing all the old guys like Kevin Atkins, Ronnie Rivers, Jake Hader, Matt Smith, Mims. It was just hard, and then my young bulls too. Like Elijah Carson, Dante Atkins, like Bula Schmidt, Tyrone Sampson. It's just all of them were there. I wish I could name them all. I'm not choosing favorites. I love all you guys, but it was just nice seeing them all, and I was like, I can't disappoint them. But then a lot of them had to leave because they had meetings because when they're on the field. But there was actually even guys who weren't there anymore, some alumni. Even Natani Muti was there. He came down for my pro day, and I was like, oh, he came. That's nice. And then just a couple other alumni came down too.
Nice, nice. I mean, a lot of great guys there. Cyrus, tell me something. Tell me about like what's been your most memorable moment out there on, playing for Fresno State. I mean, can you maybe just kind of share with me one of your best memories there?
His memory will always be forever in my brain. It had to be an overtime at Boise in the championship. Nothing won't beat that. It was like a movie scene, really. We called a play that we never ran. We ran once, and I'm just like, when our QB called the play out, we all looked at each other. I was like, "You sure?" He said, "Yeah, that's what coach says." I said, "Screw it, we're on the goal line. We got to score to win." And we ran the play. I saw a QB was a little option play. He ran up, got tackled, threw it to Riv. Riv got the ball, made one guy miss and went in the end zone. I kind of went blank. I was like, that worked. I was like, crap. And then it was just, we're all sliding over the snow and stuff. And, and it was like our first time beating boys on the blue field. It was just one of my best memories, my bestest memory at Fresno State. And, I'll never forget that. I remember the first thing I did when I came home after the championship, there was people lining up, the welcome was back home. And it was like one of my best feelings because it was just like, damn, I was like, we did it. And then after that, I went to Denny's, got some pancakes and a hot cup of coffee because I was still cold from the from the game. I got frostbite, but nothing will. I always cherish that memory. Like it will never leave my mind.
Great. So, I mean, obviously, some great memories out there. I mean, at Fresno State. I mean, obviously, one of my favorite guys out there is Rivers, the running back there, because I mean, I feel like I know you guys have used him in so many different ways, and I just kind of love watching him do his thing. So, definitely. Could have been in this year's draft, but I mean, he's staying back again. So, I mean, who knows what's going to happen with, Fresno State next year. I mean, definitely going to be a very competitive team for
Oh
sure.
yeah,
So,
yeah, Riz's
um,
animal, yeah.
right. Hey, man, I wanted to give you this one question. It's kind of I don't know, a little bit of a psychological thing. So, give you a second just to kind of think about it. If you had the ability to go back in time, kind of give your younger self a little bit of advice to prepare him for the next 4 or 5 years, kind of up until now, what sort of advice would you give him? I mean, anything that you'd tell him to help him out?
Definitely. For me, I think tell my younger self, I'll tell him to be more, treat yourself more. Because when I was younger, um, I still do. I love to put others, in front of me. I like to take care of people. Like I love being kind to people, but at that age, just kind of did too much and didn't really focus more on myself. And so, for my advice to my younger self, you know, still be the same guy you are, but try to focus on yourself a little bit more than others. Take care of yourself more. Stop, focusing on others and try to help yourself out.
So you're saying like specifically like health wise or just kind of, just in general, like,
Just
I
to
don't know, buy things for yourself or okay.
yeah, just in
Um,
just in general.
gotcha.
It's just like you know, so, I look back on it too. Like even sometimes in college too. Like I kind of look back, like I tell even the younger guys, I told them like try to focus on yourself and don't waste your time because you never get that time back. And sometimes I regret doing so, like hanging out with some people or wasting my time doing all this stuff. Doing for other people instead of doing stuff for myself. And so that's the one thing I
Gotcha.
yeah, that's the one thing I would tell myself and younger players too, like you know obviously don't be selfish, but it's not that bad to be selfish sometimes for yourself.
I, I know it sounds kind of strange to say it that way, but I feel where you're getting at. So I mean, I'm all good with it. I mean,
Yeah,
because I mean, sometimes like, you know, some people give too much, and you need to have your own time and take care of yourself accordingly. Take care of your mental, take care of everything. It's kind of that one interview with Marshawn comes to mind. Take care of your mental. So yeah. Um, Tell me a little bit about who Cyrus is outside of football, dude. I mean, any interests, hobbies, passions that you want to share in this video?
for me, I love to, I still do, I like to draw a lot. Kind of falls under my major a little bit too because I did architecture in high school, and for me, my major is interior design. Um, and that's why I fell in love with. That's something I can see myself doing after football. Something I would enjoy doing. And on my spare times, I like to draw and just get out my mind. But nowadays, it's just kind of, sometimes I'm just too tired to do it. And for me, on my pastimes, I like to cook. Kind of gets me out of the, loops like football, all the other stuff. Workouts. I'm just in my house, just whipping it up, and I enjoy it. And I play some music and just kind of zone out. And I don't go out a lot, so I'm more of a turtle in my house. I like to stay indoors when I do. I work out, get what I need done, stay in my room.
Gotcha.
So
So
I'm not.
what are you drawing? I was just kind of curious, like what kind of stuff are you drawing? Are you drawing like anime or what's happening? Like what sort of stuff are you kind of drawing out?
Uh, Kind of almost everything too. I draw anime, I like drawing animals. I actually ended up like drawing portraits of people. I actually did not like to draw people before, but I think when I got to college,
Wow.
I did a couple portraits. I actually like doing it now, and I like using different like materials, different mediums, and like chalk, charcoal, paint. Like I just used to like just using pen, but I ended up liking using a lot of other different stuff, and I enjoy it now. And then when I have the time, when I have the time to do it, then I do it. But it's just more of a kind of, I like to say it's like a once in a while thing. I was like, you know what? I was like, I got a day to myself. I think I'll do something. I'll make a piece today.
Nice. Well, I mean, you know that there are guys out there that make money, like drawing stuff. I mean, like drawing portraits even. I mean, you get those people like down by the beach that are like drawing those caricatures of people. I mean, I don't know if you'll ever do something like that. I mean, but I just kind of think it's a fun little talent that you can do. So I like that. I think it's a
Yeah.
lot of fun. Um,
Hmm.
Cyrus, our time is about up, so I do want to just give you the opportunity to just close us out. Tell all those teams out there, why they should take a chance on you and draft you. Again, why you really love this game so much, and what sort of player they'd be getting. So go ahead and hit me with your pitch.
I just feel like I'm not a chance. You don't have to second guess yourself to pick me. Just because for me, I personally think I'm very versatile, and you can throw me anywhere you want. Obviously, I only played right tackle in college, but whatever you need me, I'll make sure I'm the best at. And I just I don't think teams should consider me as should take a chance on it. I don't need to be a chance. I just feel like I'm a good pick, and and then sorry about that. And you hear they probably hear this all the time, but you hear all these hard workers, but that's all I know. That's all I do. There's nothing else I know of. Just gotta work. I don't. I'm not a big complainer, and I'll make sure I'm a great asset to the team.
Well, I mean, it sounds kind of interesting because I feel like part of your personality is you're kind of one of those guys that likes the finer details and kind of takes care of like the little things. I mean, I'm just trying to, think about like, what's going on in your head maybe when you're drawing or something. I mean, obviously you got to make it look nice. I mean, you got to go out there on the football field too, and you got to make it look nice. But I mean, a guy of your stature who's very strong, very physical, obviously able to work out some of the finer details out there. And I have heard that there is a possibility that some people are thinking about moving you inside, like maybe to right guard. I mean, probably still going to remain somewhere on that right side, like at the professional level. But I mean, obviously, a guy who, if given the opportunity, can certainly excel at that as well. So, this has been great, Cyrus. I really appreciate sitting down with you, getting to know you a little bit. Wish you the best of luck moving forward. All right.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome, bud. Again, this is Cyrus Tuitele. He's the offensive lineman out of Fresno State. Definitely got to check him out.